Part 13. Comparison between Singapore's leaders and Canada's Trudeau. Singapore's leaders Lee Kuan Yew, Lee Hsien Loong, and the current Prime Minister, Lawrence Wong, are representatives of Singapore's success. They have led Singapore from a small nation lacking resources to a global economic powerhouse through frugality, excellent management capabilities, and profound contributions to the country. Lee Kuan Yew was Singapore's founding Prime Minister. He transformed a poor and backward city-state into a modern international financial center through firm reforms and efficient management. Known for his personal integrity and simple lifestyle, he established an efficient and clean government system during his tenure. Lee Kuan Yew demanded strict standards from himself and government officials, emphasizing that public service should seek benefits for the country and people, not personal gain. Lee Hsien Loong continued Lee Kuan Yew's philosophy, promoting economic development and technological innovation. His leadership style focuses on practical results, insists on prudent fiscal management, and maintains the country's long-term stability and growth. Under his leadership, Singapore continued to maintain low tax rates and strong economic vitality. Lawrence Wong, as the current Prime Minister, continues the simple and efficient style of Singapore's leaders. Starting as the Minister for Trade and Industry, he gradually entered the country's core decision-making layer with a deep understanding of policy. Wong has not only promoted reforms in public housing, education, and other fields but also demonstrated steady crisis management capabilities during the pandemic. He continues to follow the pragmatic and frugal style of Singapore's leaders, focusing on long-term planning and governance. The common characteristics of these leaders are their strict self-demands, integrity, and the pursuit of long-term national interests, ensuring the coherence and stability of national policies. Their management philosophy is long-term and sustainable, which is the fundamental reason why Singapore has achieved a high standard of living and social prosperity despite its resource scarcity. Canada's current situation, comparison with Trudeau. In contrast, the government of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has shown a completely different style. The Trudeau government has been criticized during its tenure, especially for its luxurious lifestyle and inefficient financial management. Luxurious personal life. Trudeau and his team have spent a lot of taxpayers' money on many international and domestic vacations and luxury consumption, which contradicts his claim to care about the interests of ordinary people. Their luxurious private vacations and official travel expenses have been exposed by the media multiple times, causing public dissatisfaction. Poor financial management. During Trudeau's tenure, despite significant tax increases, Canada's debt still soared. His government increased spending on a large scale during the pandemic, while necessary relief measures were taken. The lack of controlled spending and long-term financial policies worsened Canada's economic situation. Lack of policy coherence. Trudeau's government often changes policies with election cycles, lacking a long-term governance perspective. Many voters do not fully understand the candidate's abilities when voting, only basing their votes on short-term campaign promises, leading to governance instability. Canada's reform path to completely eliminate unscrupulous, incompetent, and extravagant politicians like Trudeau from occupying high positions and harming the country. Canada should transition from the current formal democratic elections to a nomination system. This will allow capable and public service-oriented individuals to enter the leadership layer. Here are some key suggestions and reform paths. 1. Civic education and awareness enhancement. Currently, most Canadian voters do not understand the operation of the political system and the professional capabilities and moral cultivation of candidates. To fundamentally improve this issue, civic education is crucial. The government and social organizations should strive to strengthen political education for voters, especially making voters realize the complexity of policymaking and the actual skills required to govern a country. This education can be carried out through media, school courses, and community activities, helping the public to better understand the operation of political parties and the qualifications of candidates. Advantages of the nomination system. The essence of the nomination system is to entrust the selection of leaders to professionals or groups who have a deeper understanding of governance. rather than letting ordinary voters make choices with limited political knowledge. Through the nomination system, candidates with management experience, professional skills, and high moral standards can be elected, greatly reducing the chances of politicians lacking actual governance capabilities and only making empty promises. 2. Establishing a professional election and leader selection mechanism. To achieve this goal, a stricter candidate selection mechanism similar to the Singapore model can be introduced. Singapore's leaders and government officials are mostly selected from the National Civil Service Team, which has a strict assessment system and long-term professional training. This ensures that leaders not only have political vision but also possess actual management and problem-solving capabilities. In Canada, the selection mechanism can be reformed in the following ways: setting high standards for candidate qualifications, not only personal campaign funds and public visibility but also the candidate's management experience, policy capabilities, and moral character must be strictly reviewed by an independent third party. Promoting a nomination committee composed of professionals and industry leaders. These committees can recommend candidates that meet the country's needs from various fields, rather than relying on internal party political operations and campaign propaganda. Committee members should have a wide range of professional backgrounds to ensure that the nominated leaders have multidimensional management capabilities. 3. Reducing the monopoly of political parties on national resources. Canada's current system often allows parties and candidates to use national resources as tools for personal and party interests, leading to a lot of political corruption and resource waste. To change this situation, the following steps can be taken. Introducing a more transparent political funding management system by legislating and strengthening supervision mechanisms. Strictly control the sources and use of party funds to ensure that taxpayers' money is not used to satisfy personal and interest group benefits. Limiting the interest exchange of political parties. In Singapore, the high salaries of government officials and strict anti-corruption system ensure that they do not need to abuse public resources to seek private gain. Canada should also consider a similar system designed to ensure that government officials focus on public service rather than personal interests. 4. Strengthening performance assessment and accountability. The Singapore government has long been known for its strict accountability system, where the performance of officials is closely related to their promotion, demotion, or even dismissal. This mechanism can help avoid incompetent or corrupt politicians occupying important positions for a long time. Canada can introduce mandatory performance assessments, regular objective assessments of the performance of leaders in office by independent third parties, including economic management, social welfare, international diplomacy, and other aspects. The assessment results should be open and transparent, allowing voters and experts to judge the capabilities of leaders based on facts. Establishing substantive accountability systems. If leaders fail to fulfill their promises or cause significant losses during their tenure, clear legal mechanisms should be established for accountability, dismissal, and even legal responsibility, rather than waiting for the next election. 5. Enhancing voter trust in the nomination system. A major challenge in transitioning to a nomination system is how to make voters trust this mechanism. Therefore, it is necessary to ensure the transparency and fairness of the nomination process. Let the public clearly see the fairness of the nomination committee and the high quality of the recommended leaders, which can be achieved through public review, reporting, and media supervision. By implementing these measures, Canada can gradually shift from short-term interest-driven governance in the current elections to a more stable and long-term planning-oriented governance model. The nomination system is not about depriving voters of their rights but ensuring that national leaders have real professional capabilities and moral qualities, providing long-term sustainable prosperity and development for the people. Ultimately, such reforms will help eliminate short-sighted behavior and resource waste in politics, allowing professionalism to return to the field and preventing politicians from coming to power through short-term promises and then only seeking benefits for themselves and their interest groups.